Good evening, Milton.
Good evening, Doctor. Still trying to save lives?
Goodbye, Milton. Good evening, sir. I'm Dr. Reed. May I help you?
I don't know if a third opinion is needed. Your colleagues are already arguing about my condition.
I see. Would you mind telling me more about your situation?
I'm Harvey Fiddick. All I want is to get me bloody arm fixed properly.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Fiddick.
I'm just a regular guy waiting to get his arm fixed, so I can return to work and to my family.
I was more curious about what you were doing before being hospitalized.
I'm a carpenter, and a good one too. But that means I need both arms to feed my family, Dr. Reed.
Tell me about the doctors.
Strickland and Aykroyd. They both want the best for me.
What do you mean? Are you satisfied?
Well,
I won't...
Are you sure you don't want to operate?
In other circ... Tell me about your injury, Harvey. Why do you feel so guilty about it?
My wife died because of me. And now I may lose everything because I've been careless enough to hurt myself. What an arsehole.
How could your job be responsible for your wife's death?
I was working a double. She went out to bring me a hot meal and got caught in a German bomb raid.
You can't hold yourself responsible for your injury, Mr. Fiddick. Unless you tried to hurt yourself.
Of course I didn't hurt myself. But I can't work until my arm is fixed. My children need to eat, Doctor.
Tell me more about the death of your wife, Harvey.
1915. I was in the army. Building workshops for the Royal Flying Corps. Helen was happy I...
What happened?
The Germans sent Zeppelins to bomb the
I'm sorry for your loss.
I would like to say that she didn't suffer. Truth is, I have no idea. I just know that I'm all that me kids have.
How are your children?
They were smaller then. The only good thing about this is my Helen didn't bring them with her that night.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
down, my boy.
This hospital seems to be falling apart. But in the circumstances, I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt.
Good evening, Mr.
Good evening.
You seem worried about the safety of your family. And it's obviously the reason why your wound troubles you so much.
I cannot give up on my children now. They both need me living.
What about their mother, if I may ask?
She died in 1915 during one of the first Zeppelin raids. We never found her body.
Tell me more about what happened.
The German... My wife...
Are you...
Well,
I won't...
are you sure?
In other Tell me.
I'm just a...
I was more...
I'm a cop.
Tell me.
Strickland and Aykroyd.
What do you mean?
I often...
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
I will not let you down, my boy.
Good evening, sir.
What can I do for you, Doctor?
And Mr. Hampton, the patient we brought in.
I gave him a sedative to help him sleep. Poor thing was in quite a state of shock.
What kind?
Well, you accept...
If you could...
Second floor...
Thank you, Nurse Crane. Good evening, sir.
Reed, yeah.
Does my arrival...
Let us just say that I don't particularly...
It seems you have bad memories of your military.
I refuse to see...
We can at least agree on something, Dr. Aykroyd. I don't know what you've heard about me, but I have already proved my value as a practitioner.
I don't question your skills, Dr. Reed, but your motive. Is it money, fame, or are you truly dedicated?
And what exactly is that supposed to mean?
I served in the war just like you. But unlike you, I did not use the wounded to play the modern sorcerer.
Be careful what you insinuate, Dr. Aykroyd.
I only want...
This is ridiculous. My blood transfusion technique saved many lives, and you know it.
You see? That is exactly what I hate about people like you. You avoid this kind of accusation instead of facing
I don't know.
I don't...
And what...
I said...
Be careful.
I only...
This is
You see?
Tell me, Waverly, what do you think of...
Strickland...
Are you think...
Harvey...
And are you not afraid that your rivalry with Strickland may be blinding you?
Rivalry? I guess you could call it that. But I will never be childish enough to let my personal feelings affect my judgment.
Why do you?
I strongly believe that Mr. Fiddick should not be butchered to test an unproven procedure.
I really hope you're right about this, Dr. Aykroyd. I am trusting your judgment on this.
I'm not the kind of man who runs away from his responsibilities, Dr. Reed. There is no need for you to be looking over my shoulder.
Since you're
Let's just...
careless,
We're here...
I don't...
Modern...
If you have...
Dr.
I know...
Oh,
There is no...
that is...
Tell me...
Strickland is playing with his pet...
Are you thinking...
Harvey Fiddick...
What?
I
really...
I'm not
And I...
right.
If you have...
Doctors.
I know. There is no...
That is.
Thank you for your time. We'll talk later.
Wszyscy później gadają w tej grze.
Good evening. I'm
Always a pleasure to meet a colleague, sir. Especially when he was supposedly dead.
a colleague. Are you a doctor?
Not anymore, sir. I used to be Dr. Rakesh Chadana. Now, I'm just Mr. Chadana.
Mean you used to be a doctor. Was your license revoked?
No, sir. It is just that I like to be precise. I run a little...
Are you a...
Oh, I should.
How did...
After I left...
And...
Sir,
Have we met?
I don't think so, sir.
When we first...
Funny story, sir. Your sister came here a few nights ago. You were missing, and she was looking for your body. She must...
Do you work?
Yes, very...
Why do you...
Because these poor fellows have no names. We keep them in case someone comes looking for them.
Why
It was for...
A pawn?
Yes, sir.
Who...
I'm very...
What...
With the
Since you're not afraid of dying, do you believe in life after death, Rakesh?
No. I believe we must do all the...
Do you think you would...
I don't think so.
So you're...
No, I am not.
You're a wise man.
No, Doctor.
Do you really...
As I said...
Quite depressed.
Yes.
Goodbye, Mr. Chadan. It's locked.
I'm sorry you ended up on my plane and cold.
It's locked, all right.
I understand you must be very angry about this.
It's locked.
The same massacre as your wife. I hope that might help.
Good evening, miss.
Your name has no meaning to me, mortal. You're nothing but dust.
I beg your pardon.
What are you begging for, mortal? My clemency?
You keep calling me mortal. Why is that? And if...
Well, Dr. Reed, if you must know, I'm a vampire.
And why do you believe you're a vampire?
I don't need to believe anything. It is what I am. It is what I feel within this hollow shell of flesh.
Please.
I can hear my body crumble from the inside as my flesh cracks and fades. I sense the last pulse of postulant blood within my drying veins. I need new blood.
I see. Have you ever heard of Cotard syndrome, Miss Howcroft?
Never. Delusional, you say? Oh, sad and petty.
I'm assuming you must...
It's only a cover. To hide from my enemies.
Who are these enemies you mentioned? Can you describe them?
I cannot say for sure. But I sense their eyes on me from nearby.
The staff here are not your enemy.
I'm not speaking.
I see.
Thank you, mortal. But do not interfere with them.
Who are you, really?
Is that not enough for you, puny mortal?
I'm curious to know who you were before becoming a vampire.
It was such a long time ago, I don't remember.
I'll leave you.
Damn. The pain.
Good evening, Nurse.
Good evening, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye, now. Good evening, sir.
Unless you're here to fix my...
I'm Dr. Reed.
You guess.
How is your...
Oh, it's bliss.
Can I ask you...
It's the pain.
Who...
Nobody.
You don't...
My face.
How is...
Oh, it's...
Can I ask...
It's the pain.
Can I do anything?
Nurses gave me a bunch of pills.
How close are you to Miss Hawcroft? Are you aware that she thinks she is a vampire?
To wait for her next nibble is the best reason to stay here. Every time she...
Aren't you afraid? She may hurt you if the game...
She's quite harmless.
You do realize she...
In her madness, she never...
So do you...
And why not? She's only supping a few drops of my blood. And the pain.
She could decide to bite less willing patients.
Then it's another good reason for me to...
Where we...
I really...
No offense.
You were...
Goodbye for now, Mr. Elwood.
Disgust on every street corner. The daily routine.
Good evening, Miss Howe.
I need blood, Doctor. Warm, rich.
Tell me, Thelma, why do you feel so attached to Mr. Elwood?
I'm not sure, Doctor. I think
Would you say...
No. No, Thomas is a delicate soul.
Do you plan to make him a vampire too?
Of course not. How could I inflict my curse on anybody else?
I'll leave you, Mistress.
Time has lost its effect on me.
Daily...
But the suffering continues.
Good
evening, Dr. Reed.
Goodbye for now, Mr.
I wonder what your last
Daily
words would be.
routine.
Good evening, Mr. Hampton. How do you feel?
Dr. Reed, is it? Oh, Sora, I must apologize for my behavior.
What do you mean?
I was not myself in the factory. Fear and exhaustion made me say awful...
You remained perfectly nice and polite.
Thank you, Doctor.
How did you end up in...
I had received a letter.
Why did he...
William was an alcoholic. His addiction suddenly changed to blood. I don't know why.
You dared to enter this awful...
I'm just a man.
Do you know Tom Watts? The bartender from the Turtle. I met him before I...
Tom? Yes, of course. Always the help.
Who should...
Not really.
People are...
How could it...
What is the general situation?
The situation.
Who leads?
Since Clay...
As the... What do you do?
I'm managing...
Are you...
Not at all, Doctor. I'm just a man of faith, willing to preach the...
Why didn't you use your cross against William Bishop? To repel him somehow?
That's a...
Have you made...
Not really.
You never...
You're preaching to the...
How do you...
I feel exhausted.
You're in good...
Thank you.
Goodbye, Mr. Hampton. We'll... I cannot enter.
I wish I could be sick again. Feel my blood boil with the fever.
It's locked, all right. It's locked. Thelma Howcroft said she was being watched by vampire hunters. Where are they hiding? I should investigate.
Good evening.
Goodbye.
I'm quite busy,
Thank you for your time.
I will not let you down, my boy.
What can I do for you, Doctor?
Thank you.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
No,
really?
I don't want to talk.
I suppose...
Yes.
Could you at least...
Mort.
Tell me about...
I don't want to talk, Doctor.
Why did...
My mother...
Stop. Is your mother...
That's...
How...
So...
I'm not...
Yes, mate.
How...
So painful.
Tell me about...
I don't want to talk.
I have to go...
Good evening, sir. Doctor.
What can I do for you, Doctor?
Thank you, Nurse Crane. Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening.
Pepper, are you sure you want to leave this hospital?
To become a nurse was a little girl's dream. But in the end, I don't feel that useful. I want more. I want to make...
You should be proud of what you've achieved.
Maybe you're right.
Pepper.
To become a nurse...
You should be...
Maybe you're right. But I...
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins. It's locked, all right. Scowl voices in the garden. I should investigate. If they were to find somebody... So, Mr. Hooks and Nurse Hawkins are an item. Those two have hidden their affections well. I cannot enter. Good evening, Nurse Hawkins.
Good evening.
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins. Good evening.
Good evening.
Goodbye for now.
Sweet girl.
Good evening.
Do you know that Nurse Hawkins is thinking of leaving the hospital?
That's not a surprise. We've talked about it already.
Does it not bother you?
Sometimes I think she may be right. We should run away while we can.
Tell me,
If a patient wants a bed, he'll have to pay me a little fee. That's all.
where did you get the idea for such an immoral scam?
Funny you should ask. The first time it was from a patient who bribed me to get a bed. It's only then I...
I have some good news, Milton.
What? The epidemic's over?
I retrieved your wallet with all the money and a certain picture.
Well, yeah, Pippa Hawkins is my girl. So what? Is it the difference of skin colour that bothers you?
Not at all, Milton.
Good. Please, take this money anyway. To remind you to keep your mouth shut. Not everybody is as broad-minded as you, Dr. Reed.
Admit it. Nurse Hawkins is more than your lover. She's also your partner in crime.
Of course she is. How else could I tell which bed is free? I need to know...
Have you no shit?
Don't you see?
What's...
Pippa?
You do realize you could both get fired. Hospital staff are not...
Come on, Dr. Reed. Do you know how many rules are broken in this hospital every day?
During...
Maybe you're right.
Goodbye, Milton.
Another night with the glorious battalion of Kemp.
I will not let you down, my boy.
Good evening, Mr. Fit.
Good evening, Doc.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
You always knew the words to calm me. As for me, I'm no longer an idiot.
It's locked, all right.
But in the circumstances, I believe you'd be ready to put out a short.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Milton cheats patients out of their money at this hospital, Pippa. Are you his accomplice?
Yes, I am.
Is this your definition of...
No.
Whose idea?
What difference does it make?
Answer my...
It was my idea first.
Why do you do it?
Why not? Most of the sick who paid for a bed are already dead.
In your position, I would suggest a more elaborate defense. Cynicism will not save you.
This isn't cynicism, it's realism.
What steps are you prepared to take to feel more useful?
I don't know yet. My sister believes that the real fight is in the streets nowadays. Maybe she's right. Maybe this is what I'm...
And what about Milton Hooks? Does he...
For Milton, any change means more comfort.
If you feel that...
On the contrary, my faith has never been stronger.
Milton...
Yes, I am.
Is this your definite...
No.
Whose...
What difference?
Answer my...
It was my...
Why...
Why not?
In your position...
This isn't...
Pepper, I know you're very close to...
Yes. Milton Hooks is my man. If you want to...
I have no intention of reporting you, Nurse Hawkins. But are you aware of the risks?
The rules say I won't be allowed to work as a nurse anymore. But here at the Pembroke, we break rules all the time.
Is he worth the risk?
Hey, I'm no...
Goodbye, Nurse Hawkins.
But the suffering continues.
It's locked.
There's your wife. I hope that...
I'm all right. Don't waste your time with me.
Good evening, Mr. Fitz.
Good evening, Doctor.
Goodbye for now, Mr. Fiddick. I'll see you later.
I will not let you down, my boy.
Good evening, sir.
I'm quite busy.
Thank you for your time. I cannot enter.
Not now.
It's locked, all right. This must be the place. It's definitely away from prying eyes. Relegated to the shadows. A kingdom of my own. At least I won't be sleeping in a coffin. The flower's dying. It needs water. The flower's dying. It needs water. William Bishop's blood is much more unstable than human blood and shows extensive mutation. But this is not what happened to me. I must keep on searching. The sun, the flower's dying. It needs water. It's locked.
Not now.
Not now. Not now. Not now.
Good evening.
Good evening, Doc.
Goodbye, Nassau.
Good evening, Doctor.
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A
It is now or never.
The patients are not fools. They know we are overwhelmed by this horrifying epidemic.
Good evening, nurse.
Good evening.
Goodbye. Good evening.
Dr. Rick.
Goodbye.
I will not let you down, my boy.
I'm all right.
I'm quite busy, Iraq.
I don't. And what? Be careful.
I only.
This is
You see.
It's. We can't. Thank you.
I will not let you down, my boy.
Good evening, Dr. Strickland.
And good evening.
What do you think?
It's a shame he's so narrow-minded. Dr. Swansea took...
With the influenza and all that's going on.
I believe...
So you...
Doctor...
Tell me...
Harvey Fiddick is a patient suffering from a severe injury that could cripple him.
What is it you really want?
Feck.
Goodbye. I cannot enter. It's locked.
Fear and disgust on every street corner.
Goodbye, Mr. Ham. Good evening.
Evening.
Why do you feel responsible?
I wasn't disfigured by any German shells.
Tell me.
I went with a whore in Rouen. Dead.
Did you start the fire? Were you?
No.
Why?
Come on.
Reconstructive surgery has been very successful.
I don't want to wear a bloody...
Why do you feel...
I wasn't...
Tell me.
I went...
Did you...
No.
Why?
I don't want to...
Goodbye for now.
Fear and disgust on every street corner. The daily routine.
I wonder why the Goswicks came.
Good evening, Miss. I'll leave. If I'm to stay here until my research is complete, I'd better learn to hide my true nature from the mortals. But what about my thirst for blood? The flower's dying. It needs water.